Yep.
This is the game right now, and there's a person that does the words listing boss mean anything to you? Listing Boss Academy. Someone who's been training our industry for 13 years, contributing information that so many of us have taken in over the years. So many of us got our expired business off the ground through what he's shared with us. And so it is truly a privilege. This is one of those times when, it was just a moment ago where I was on, Google, like, oh, what's this person about? Well, here he is, and with the great privilege and pleasure of introducing Pratt.
Yeah, how we doing? Y'all fired up? Hey, this is what this is all about, isn't it? Getting in the right room with the right people. Yo, this is what it's all about. If you want to dominate a shifting market, you got to be here. It's because it's who you surround yourself with. It's the information that you get. It's the actions that you take that are going to determine your success or failure. Do y'all believe that? Yes. How's the energy today? Your energy is important to you dominating a shifting market, and that's what I hope to do today, y'all, is to equip you with what you need to do to thrive in any market. Do y'all believe you can thrive in any market? You can thrive in any market because we're not affected by the economy, we're affected how we react to the economy. It's our actions that we choose to make the changes, to pivot when we need to. And I want to share with you a quick model. I believe anybody can accomplish anything in life and business. Write them down. If you have the right mindset, you can accomplish anything. We got to check our mindset. 2, models to follow. Don't reinvent the wheel. Follow a proven model. And 3, take massive action. That's your part. What I want to do today is help you find a model and inspire you and change your mindset so you can go take massive action and help you leave y'all better than I found y'all. Does that sound good? Yeah, here's the deal about me, y'all. I barely made it through high school. I did not go to college. I dropped out of high school twice. I worked on a dairy farm in Missouri. It's where I'm from. Show me state, huh? Chiefs. Yeah, buddy. 250 head of cattle every single day. That's all I did. But here's why. I just wanted to work. I wanted to do what it takes. But I didn't always believe what they were teaching me inside the classroom. I'm an entrepreneur. Does anybody feel that way? Like, why are they teaching me this stuff? Just give me the phone. I want to start a business. About that time, I met a guy named Jimbo. Jimbo took me under his wing. He was my mentor. I was a teenager. And he gave me some pieces of advice. He said, Haas, start a business, because profits are better than wages. So in high school, I started Pratt Lawns. Started mowing grass, picked up the white pages of the phone book, cold called everyone line by line. Started my first year with 100 lawns. I was mowing over 100 lawns. I had one of the biggest commercial contracts in high school, making over 6 figures a year. Years went by. I thought I made it as a teenager in my hometown, in my nest, proving everybody wrong. That said I couldn't make it, that said you'd be a loser if you don't go to college. And here's what Jimbo said. He goes, it's time to move. I go, why? He goes, you become a product of your environment. Make sure your environment is one you want to become a product of. I said, where do I go? He goes, you belong in Texas. And here we are, y'all. We like Texas? Thanks for bringing the rain. We needed it. And here's what he said. He goes, where do I go? He goes, you belong in Dallas, Texas. I said, I've never been to Texas. I've never seen the ocean. And he goes, let's go. He took me on my first airplane ride. This is in August. We fly to Dallas, drive around. We rent a Cadillac DeVille, driving around. It was hot 105, listening to Sammy Kershaw. I'll never forget it. I said, I'm moving. He goes, you moving? I said, I'm moving. He goes, when? He goes, set the date. I thought about it. I go, this winter. He goes, set the date. I said, November 15th, I'm moving. He goes, then make the call. I called my brother Brad. I said, Brad, I'm moving to Texas on November 15th. I'm giving you first right of refusal to take my lawn service, but I'm out of here. He goes, are you crazy? I'm like, yep. Trey, my brother, long story short, November 15th, I moved to Dallas, Texas, a place where I didn't know anybody. I didn't know a single soul here. I get into real estate. How does that sound? How do y'all think this is going to end up? I'm in my early 20s, and I failed. 6 months in, I blew 50 grand. I didn't take a single listing, didn't work a single buyer. It wasn't for a lack of effort. I was doing all the things, but I was doing the wrong things. You see, action is not always important. What the action is and what your intention is just as important. And when I uncovered this, here's what happened. I called Jimbo. I said, Jimbo, I'm thinking about moving home. He goes, you can't move home. If you move back, you'll be the biggest loser that ever walked the effing planet. If you move back, it'll be the single biggest mistake you've ever made in your life. And he hung up the phone. And in that moment, do y'all have people like Jimbo in your life, by the way? Because in that moment, I decided to move back. I decided that I was going to move, and Jimbo changed it. And it was the best decision I've ever made. And here's what drove me. I went from that first year, I changed everything. What I'm going to share with you guys in this training, that first year, within 6 months, my first month, I took 30 listings at 30 days. I finished my first year at $9 million in closed volume, rookie of the year. All of it came from my second part of my first year. Here's why I tell you this. Because things can change fast for you. In the industry, they say it takes 3 years. It doesn't take 3 years. It takes less than 3 seconds. You have to decide. Here's the other reason I tell you that story. My first 6 months, I was waiting for the business to come to me. I wasn't going to get what is mine. I was mailing letters thinking that people were just going to call me. And when I realized we're in the appointment setting business, that's when everything changed for me. Are we in the appointment setting business, y'all? This is the thing. Here's the cold hard facts. You can take 100 real estate agents, follow them around for a year. 1% had exponential increases. 4% had incremental increases. 95% did the same amount of business or less. So statistically, if you take 100 agents, that's what we're going to see. I don't believe this room is the case, but here's what is the case. That the 5% of the agents do 95% of the business. And that's what makes me mad. We keep hearing about what your purpose is. Your purpose is what makes you mad. It's what gets you ticked. I'm ticked that these stats are the same. That's why I pour into agents, do everything I can to provide the models to inspire them to take massive action. And here we find ourselves in a shift. And people are like, well, we're in a shift. What do we do? Here's the deal, y'all. Write it down. Shift happens. Who cares? We're only affected how we react to this shift. So here's what we have to do right now today. Y'all have to decide. We have to change what we're doing. Today is a direct result of your actions over the last 6 months. So if we want different results in 6 months, what do we got to do? What do we got to do? You got to change your actions to change your results. And here's what happens to most people. This is why this industry has a revolving door. They let their fear control their actions and their mind. It's the reason that 97% of people choose comfort. We got to quickly eliminate fear. There's nothing to be scared of other than you not taking the actions that you have to take in this moment right now that will determine your level of success or failure. So here's my question to y'all today. What does success look like? Why did you get on an airplane to come here? What are you trying to accomplish? Do you know what your goal is? From agent attraction to production, do we know what those goals are? Here's what success looks like. You have to know what you want in order to get what you want. I've coached thousands of agents, and this is the number one thing. Most people don't know what they want. You don't hire a coach unless you know what you want. You go to work on yourself to know what you want. And then what happens is we attract what we want. We got to visualize this thing. How I took 30 listings in 30 days is because I wanted a listing every day. And I didn't know any different. Here's what we got to do. We got to, in a shifting market, in any market, here's what I want you to know. This image right here speaks volumes. Because most people, the 97% operate in their comfort zone. They don't get outside their comfort zone. But outside that comfort zone is where the magic happens. I call it the land of the unknown. We want to be in the unknown because when we're in the unknown is where we grow, where we don't control anything. We have to have faith. We have to manage our mindset. And here's what I learned looking back from the many times I put myself in the land of the unknown, is that's where God shows up. He shows up for that person. The person who leaves the nest to go to the unknown, having faith. Here's what happens. People come into your life. The tools come into your life. The resources, the events. You have favor, because favor fortunes the bold. Fortune favors the bold. Put your hands together if you're bold. There's two types of mindsets, y'all. Mindset's everything. Number one is growth mindset. It's the only way to be. It's which most of y'all are. You can achieve, accomplish, and become anything that you want to achieve and accomplish in life. Nothing is fixed. But see, to the fixed thinker, they don't think this way. This is the majority of people. This is what makes you different, y'all. You're a growth thinker surrounded by fixed thinkers. So a fixed thinker thinks everything is fixed. The odds are already stacked against them, so they do nothing. The fixed thinker is the one that told you, what the hell are you doing going down to Dallas? Isn't they having a 1,000-year flood? Can't you just get a refund on the ticket? What are you doing in one of those seminars? Those are fixed thinkers. But what did you do? You got on an airplane anyway, didn't you? Why? Because success requires you to get on an airplane. Because here's why, y'all. Say it with me. It's go time, grow time. It's go time, grow time. Now's the time to take massive action. And here's the thing. This quote changed everything for me. It's a mindset and a framework to think. Jim Rohn says success is not something that you pursue. It's something you attract by the person you become. That quote changed everything. It's a mindset. If you're chasing success, man, you're going to be empty. You got to become successful, and the marketplace will reward you because you're paid based on the value you bring to the marketplace. The reason a shift doesn't matter is because it's shift or non-shift, you're still going to be paid based on the value you bring to the marketplace. Do y'all agree? So what do we do in a shift? Bring more value. We grow our skills. We ascend those skills. Let me show you how. There's high leverage activities in real estate. These are the only four that matter. These are the activities that you want to spend your day doing. Prospecting for new business, because you're unemployed every 90 days. Prospecting never stops. You either prospect for new business or you're going to work for somebody that prospects for new business. So we're going to prospect. 2 is present. We're in the presentation business, on listing appointments, buyer appointments, video, presenting one-to-one to one-to-many. Presenting, mastering the skill of presenting is what you need to focus on. Mastering the skill of prospecting and getting people to take action. Because we're trying to become attractive. We want to build relationships. And I know a lot of you are here for agent attraction. How do you attract? You become attractive. How do you become attractive? You master your craft. Mastering your craft is finding these 4. So building relationships and leading yourself first and then leading other people. If you lead yourself good enough, here's what's going to happen. You're going to have other people to lead. So does that mean take the sign across town, the lockbox, take it across town? Does that mean that? No, we don't do that. What do? High leverage activities. We delegate everything else. We delegate to escalate. Here's what I want you to do. Look at this chart. Know what your time is worth right now. Like, what is it costing you to sit in this 30 minutes with me? A lot of people don't know that. I want to help you know that because it's going to help you look at time differently. If you make $50,000 a year, you make $25 an hour. If you make $100,000 a year, you make $50 an hour. If you make $200,000, you make $100 an hour. If you make $500, you make $250. So know what you want. Here's what we got to do. Once we stack our skills, we become more valuable. So what I want to challenge all of you to do is stack the skills. Master the people skills, the sales skills, the marketing skills, and the presentation skills. Everything that you want and the reason that you came here exists through that process because that's what makes you attractive. And it ascends what you're worth and your time is worth per hour. People say, well, how do you get it all done? You know what you do? You just do it. You do the work. You know how what I learned is people won't work unless they're forced to work. You're not going to do it unless you have to do it. Did y'all know that? Yes? You know why this is important? Because now you know what to do, as I'm going to share with you in a minute. But if you don't force yourself to work, the work will never come out of you. That's why it's important to schedule everything, from what you do all day to on your calendar, because if not, it's out of sight, out of mind, and you all ain't going to do it. So here's the deal. Here's what we got to do. We got to get better in marketing. Here's what marketing is. I'm going to share with you how I was able to take 30 listings. I walk in one day to my real estate office. I was broke. Just got off the phone with Jimbo after he hung up. Pull into my real estate office. I see 5 wrapped Hummers. I'm like, what's this? I thought it was like a UFO. Remember the wrapped Hummers, y'all? This is like the first time I've ever seen one. And there's 5 of them in my real estate office. And I go in there and I say, who is this guy? Like, what is this guy? He had a young picture on his face. It was yellow and orange and red Hummer, like all loud. And I walk in and ask my broker. She goes, that's Michael Reese. He just moved here from another office. And he's one of the top agents. And I'm like, this dude, where's his office at? And she goes, his office is right down the hall. So I walk right down to and I've never met the guy. I walk right down to the hall and I go up to Mike. I go, what are you doing, bro? Like, how old are you? He's like, I'm 23. I'm like, I'm 21. Like, what are you doing to get all this business? And he says, you ever heard of for sale by owners? I says, yeah, I think. And he goes, do you know that there's people that will send you a list every day of all of the people that are trying to sell their home for sale by owner? And I never knew such a thing existed. And he goes, yeah. And then he walked off. And I went home and I got that service. The next day I took my first listing. The second day I took my second listing. The third, and 30 days later I had 30 listings. And Mike was very annoyed that he told me about FSBOs. But it's funny where we are now because Mike has had an impact on so many people, looking back and seeing how it all came together. But it was niches. And having competition like that, it's called co-opetition. It drives you, and it's a gift. And so what we got to do is we got to dominate niches. In a shifting market, it's the fastest way to put signs in the ground. It's the fastest way to get you what you want is by knowing these target markets. So number one is you have your MET database. Some of you love this, and this is where you get the majority of your business. The MET database are your sphere of influence. Your A's love you, your B's like you, and your C's know you. It's your MET database. So now in this market, I want you to be able to have all those contacts gathered and communicating with them. We need contacts on campaigns, as you're going to see. But here's what we got to do. We got to get outside of the MET database into the haven't met. In this market, there's going to be people that 100% of a niche want to sell, and 100% of the niche need your help. So you need to expand your target markets in this shift. Even though maybe you've never done something, that's why we're going into the unknown, because that's where the opportunity is. Just like it was for FSBOs for me when I was broke for 6 months. Thank God I went up to Mike and he gave me that one nugget, that one piece of information, because remember, you're only one piece of information away. So here's what haven't mets are. The FSBOs, the expireds, the geo leads, the short sales, the REO, 30, 60, 90-day late mortgage leads. I was helping a client the other day. The guy's a part-time agent, works less than 3 hours a day. The guy took 7 listings in a week going after that niche. Another guy, 18-year-old, he was going after, I gave him expireds. Told him what to do. 18 years old, took 7 listings in 7 days as an 18-year-old. Here's the good news. The marketplace doesn't care how old you are. They don't. Marketplace doesn't care how long you've been in the real estate business. The marketplace cares about themselves, their time, and their money. And it's our job to show people what we can do to save them time and money. Here's the distinction. You want to acquire data versus thinking just lead gen. So acquiring data is taking data from a niche, positioning yourself as the expert, and converting those prospects. It's the blue ocean. It's what most agents don't do. Most agents wait for the business to come to them. What we're going to do is we're going to build a system that targets specific niches that we're going to position ourselves as the expert. So that's the difference in waiting versus generating leads. There's data sources. So here's what we're going to do. It's no different than both those examples of people that took a listing every day. We take that data, put it in your CRM on a campaign. This is so important. Most of you have KV Core. You need leads on campaigns to do what I'm talking about. You need contacts on campaigns. If your database isn't on a campaign, you're never going to call them. If your top 100 list of agents that you want to attract to EXP is not on at least a 2-week or monthly call campaign, you're never going to convert them. And people don't convert themselves. This is a relationship business, is it not? Especially agent attraction. It's a relationship business. So we got to depend on systems, because you don't manage people, you manage systems to manage the people. And the people includes us, does it not? It's us. So you need a system to manage you. Force the work out of you. Here's an example of this. A simple strategic action plan for every target market, telling you what to do, from when to call, when to text, when to email, what to say, how to say it. And all we do is we feed the beast. So when most agents are circling the drain, trying to throw spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks, here's what happens. Nothing. Because they're not doing the work that leads to the result. That's the reason that 80% of sales happen on the 5th to 12th contact. Here's what I'm doing here, though. People say, oh, that's follow-up. No, it's not. This is setting appointments. I'm not following up to follow up. I'm calling, I'm prospecting, I'm marketing to what? To set the appointment. If we don't set the intention of setting the appointment, we're going to follow up till we die. You got to get people to take action. It's a mindset. So if you're just calling to call to go through the motions, that's your problem. Instead of doing that, call to set the appointment. Why? Because there's a pain that exists that we can solve. I want to shift gears on marketing, because I believe marketing is the reason most people don't get results, because they don't get to the marketing side. Here's the thing. Most agents don't prospect because they don't know what to say. And they don't have a system telling them who to call. So the combination of those things, you have no lead generation going on. So I want to ask you this question. It's the ultimate question. Why should your prospects do business with you instead of your competitor? In Dallas-Fort Worth, we have 40,000 realtors. What makes you different than everybody else as an agent? I want you to think about this, because here's what most people think. Well, which is always the indicator they don't know. I want you to hit them with like an Uzi. It just rolls off your tongue. Mr. Seller, I'm glad you asked. I have an 89-point marketing plan that works like magic in selling homes just like yours in today's shifting market, the fastest, most amount of money. Our 89-point marketing plan is going to help you extract maximum equity out of the sale of the home. In fact, we have a certified pre-owned home program. Our certified pre-owned home program is the reason we outsell the average agent 10 to 1, Mr. Seller. In today's shifting market, you need to have your home certified so we can position it differently in the marketplace. Our certified pre-owned home program allows our properties to sell for 4.8% more money, 28 days faster than the MLS average. Do you see how I'm positioning my solutions to the pain? When I have solutions and I enthusiastically communicate to them, they don't ask me, what are you going to do to market my home? They don't ask me how long you've been selling real estate. So here's what I want you to understand. You can create a marketing program, a program out of thin air right now, today, abracadabra, that will give you a message that will solve anything you're trying to accomplish in dominating a niche. In the absence of these programs and these solutions, you cannot sell them and market to them without feeling a little bit sleazy. So the value is in the programs that you offer. It is not you, because they don't care about you, they care about themselves. So here's what I want you to do. Whatever niche you're going after, I want you to stop talking about you, and I want you to talk about a solution that you offer. So it looks like this. What's the niche? What's the name of the program? What are the features of it? What are the benefits? So when I'm talking to people, I'm asking questions. I'm looking for opportunity to establish my value. I'm looking for the pain. Here's what you do in selling, especially real estate. This is super easy. You know how a lot of people have a hard time on the phone with people? Yes? Front row Joe's like, nope, exactly, bro. That's why you're here. Here's what I find. I find that I listen to a lot of calls. I train people on how to get better on the phone and face-to-face. First thing I do is like, send me your calls. I'll listen to one, but like, bro, you didn't even ask a single question. You were just yip-yakking talking. I go, it's not that hard. All you do is ask questions. They're like, what do you mean? The questions that you ask will lead to the pain. When you find the pain, you provide the solution, and that solution is what will get them to take action. And it's what helps you find common ground. It's what helps you build rapport. They're like, well, what do you mean? Here's what I want to do. I want to show you this visual. That X is all messed up, isn't it? Draw an X on the left-hand side of your paper. Draw a line under it all the way to the right. Draw another X. The X on the left is where the prospect is, the agent is. The X on the right is where they want to be. That line that you drew between the two is the bridge. You are the bridge that helps people get from where they are to where they want to be. So when you're talking to an agent, let's take a real estate agent. You're wanting to get them on your team. What do you say? Remember this image. They're here. They want to be here. Why are they not there yet? What is the pain? And what's the offer to get them there? I want you to mentally ask these questions. Every time I get on a call with an agent, it's like, how's everything going? How long have you been in business? Where's your market at? How many homes do you sell? How long have you been in the business? What's your team like? I'm uncovering where they are. What are you trying to accomplish? Where do you want to be? How long do you want to get there? In 12 months, we're having a conversation that everything was a smashing success. What would have to happen in order for you to consider this the best decision of your life? Well, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. That's where you want people. Because they don't always know what they want. You help them visualize what they want. Help them experience the pain of where they are, just because most people are in pain where they are, and help them get there. And that bridge is the value. That bridge is not you. You're the vessel of the value, because it's not about you. It's about EXP. It's about agent healthcare. It's about rev share. It's about marketing. It's about programs and tools that you can offer people to get there. And this is what happens. The reason I believe that most people struggle with this, they don't know it's this simple. If you listen to me on the phone, I would ask a dozen questions before I said a single statement. I'm like a doctor. I'm the doctor, y'all. I come in, I'm the surgeon. I'm like, scalpel. Give me the scalpel. I'm like peeling the onion layers away. I'm digging. I'm going to dig till I find the pain. I'm going to ask a question based on the answer they gave me. Based on another, I'm going to dig. I'm going to ask a question based on the answer they give me. And I'm going to get 3 levels deep, and I'm going to find some pain. And I'm going to pound this pain. Why? Because I want them to take the action that's going to fix it. And if I don't get them to create a little internal pressure, then I'm not going to convert them. And right now, y'all, in a market like today, is urgency important? Urgency. Right now in real estate agents are more open than ever to listen to the opportunity EXP. This is the greatest opportunity of any real estate agent will ever have in their entire life as a residential real estate agent. Y'all believe that? So don't waste it. I believe every time I get on the phone, I remember the time when I attracted Tarek El Moussa to EXP. I was training and coaching all real estate brokerages. He was endorsing Listing Boss. I got on an airplane. I was going to go see him. I was doing video with him all day. And I was shutting my suitcase. I told my wife, I'm going to get Tarek to join EXP. She goes, you are? I go, yep. And it's game on after that. Here's why. You speak things into existence. You speak it. You manifest it. You see it. You see the vision. I knew when I brought Tarek in, I knew this, that it would change the game. Why? Because of influence and celebrity. I knew the floodgates would come in. Why? Because we broke the cycle there. We can get more. Then I remember Lisa Copeland came in, and she goes, Haas, I'm going to join you with EXP. And I go, you know the Cardones, don't you? And she goes, yep. I go, we're getting the Cardones to EXP. She goes, we are? I go, yep. Let me say it again. We are going to get the Cardones to EXP. How are we going to do it? I don't know. but I'm going to put it out there and the world's going to go make it happen. And that was a year before they joined. So think about every person on your list that you want to attract. Have you spoke it? Have you said it? Have you planted the seed? Have you set the intention? Because there's a lot of things that you don't even need to do that the universe is just sitting around waiting to go help you on. Instead, what we do is we don't have a list of 100. We don't think that way. And so we're not able to experience God show up in those ways in the unknown, as I said. Be the doctor. You walk into the doctor's office, what's the doctor say? Well, first off, he has a stethoscope. He has his scrubs. And what's he say? He says, what's your pain? What's happening? How long you had it? Does this hurt? Does that hurt? What's he doing, by the way? Asking questions. And he's going to say, well, it sounds like you need what? And he's going to write a prescription. I want you to think like the doctor in everything you do. The doctor's in control. Because if you're not in control of a conversation, a client or a prospect or an agent, they're going to be in control and you're not going to convert anybody. So you got to be in control. Asking questions is the key to them revealing the truth, to them exposing themselves, their pain, and what they hold dear to their heart. And then lastly is you need a prescription pad. A lot of y'all's problems is you don't have that prescription pad. That is the solutions that solve the pain. And when you fix that, they won't care if you're 19 years old taking a listing. They don't care. I've experienced that in my business. I've seen it with so many people. They only care about what you can do to help them. And as I wrap up here, here's the deal, y'all. You got to go out there. Not only do you got to burn the boats, but you got to build yourself first. If you want to build a legacy, go to work on you. Become a skillionaire. Then you'll become a millionaire. Yeah, skillionaire. Stack your skills. Don't be outcome-oriented, be action-oriented. Whatever happens, don't be the person who doesn't do the work. Because the person who doesn't do the work will eventually be overexposed and underdeveloped. So do the work now, have faith in the process, and go out there, y'all, take massive action. Thank you all so much for having me. Thank you.